Good morning, people of Earth. Me.
That's what aliens sound like.
I'm Chuck, and that's Josh, and I was just impersonating an alien. I'm not really an alien.
You just play one on TV.
That's right. Or in this case, on the internet.
Right.
Our version of the TV, because we're millennials.
Mm-hmm.
Can't you tell by my long gray beard?
Yeah.
All right, so we round up the internet every week here in the Stuff You Should Know studio. And this week, Josh found a couple of neat things.
Yeah. Over on
Beep, boop, beep.
The Other at the-other.info. It's a website called The Other, and it's about, they just cover like the style and things of subcultures.
What is .info? How you get one of those?
You have to have a lot of information.
I guess so. So what you found was Disney gangs.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I was about to say grown adults. There are kids as well.
Yeah, but it's mostly grown adults.
It's mostly grown adults. And what they are doing is they formed gangs in Disney World and Disneyland.
It's mostly Disneyland is the impression I have.
Oh,
although I'm sure they're at Disney World. But I think it originated with the Neverlanders in Disneyland.
Yes, some of the names. And the general idea here is, if you're confused, is they're sort of emulating the biker gang look.
Right.
But with Disney stuff.
Yeah, like these people are straight up obsessed with Disney. Like
Obsessed.
They've got the Disney tattoos and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, they belong to gangs, and they have gang like emblems and insignias and stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
The thing is they look kind of scary because you associate them with outlaw motorcycle gangs
Sure.
or OMGs.
Yeah.
But they're actually extremely helpful.
It's because it's Disney.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, and apparently, Chuck, in the 60s and 70s and the 90s, Disney had a real problem with like other countercultures.
Yeah, this is the best part of this article.
Well, then take it away.
In the 60s and 70s, long-haired hippies once hung out on Tom Sawyer's Island, and that, of course, makes perfect sense. When I read that, I was like, of course that's where they're hanging out. Kind of isolated. I imagine they were probably smoking drugs.
Right?
You know?
Smoking banana peels.
And they blocked the entrance for the average visitor, so the police even had to come in sometimes, or there were fights between the hippie toughs at Tom Sawyer's Island.
Right, and then the 90s punk kids started hanging out in Disneyland too.
Sure.
This is totally different. These people are all about Disney. They're not going to Disneyland to be ironic or to prove a point.
No, they hate those people, I would imagine.
They probably do.
Hate them with love, you know?
Right. I was going to say they would still treat them courteously at Disneyland. So they help pick up trash. They show people which way the teacup ride is, or all that kind of stuff. But they have some pretty cool insignias.
Yeah, let's look at some of these.
Okay. The Main Street Elite's pretty cool. They've got like Greaser Mickey.
Yeah, some of the names: Walt's Misfits, the Hitchhikers, Hidden Mickeys, Mickey's Pink Ladies, the Wonderlanders, Tomorrowland's Rebels.
Yeah.
Which one would you be in, Josh?
Well, I like the name the Tomorrowland Rebels.
Yeah.
But I think the Main Street Elite have the coolest insignia.
Yeah, and I believe they're the largest, started by Michael Stout, who's a barber in L.A. He started the Main Street Elite, he said, because I found out there were a bunch of us that are sort of into the tattoo culture anyway.
Right.
And we didn't really fit in with the standard Disney family, so we wanted to create our own family.
Yeah.
Pretty neat.
Yeah.
I guess.
I take it back. Walt's Misfits.
Oh, is that the one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very cool.
All right. Well, if you want to join, start hanging out with them on Instagram and Twitter and the like, and wait for your invite.
Yep.
Be patient.
They make you beat up Goofy as initiation.
Very good. All right. What else we got, Josh? Oh, this is helpful.
Oh, everybody in the world has Netflix, right? Specifically Netflix streaming.
I do.
Okay, I do too. And again, everyone in the world.
Yes, and we are not sponsored by Netflix, by the way. This is just straight up content.
We're just fans.
Yep.
So one of the problems with Netflix is you never really know what all's there. It's all Netflix serving up suggestions to you. And you always get the feeling like, this feels like just the tip of the iceberg.
Yeah.
And I'm not convinced the Netflix algorithm knows me as well as it thinks it does, right?
That's right.
So these great people over at whatsonnetflix.com, and I found this via Metafilter, actually. Mm-hmm. There's something called the Netflix ID Bible.
It's a hack.
It is a hack. So there's a URL that you can type in. It is http:// www.netflix.com/browse/genre. And then in this very helpful post, there is the number for every category on Netflix.
Yeah. And
there are a mind-boggling amount of categories.
If you think, oh, yeah, I've seen, thriller, action.
Right.
These are subcategories that allow you to drill down.
Right. Scottish thriller with a female Asian lead, that kind of drilling down.
Yeah. Not quite that much, but sure.
I just made that up, but I'm predicting it too.
For instance, comic book and superhero movies, martial arts movies, military, action, and adventure.
Yeah.
So they subdivide it down, which is really helpful if you're in a particular mood. And what you do is you match the number and you put a slash and you put that number at the end of that URL.
Right.
And there you have it.
Yeah. And if you watch it on your laptop or something, you can just click the thing, the movie that you want to see. If not, then you can just search it on your TV.
Yeah, my problem with Netflix is my queue. Actually, they don't call it a queue anymore.
What do they call it?
Americans are dumb. A list. They changed it because Americans were like, what's a queue?
Right.
And why is it spelled that way?
Yeah.
My problem is my queue is just so massive.
Yeah, I used to have that problem. Not anymore.
What'd you do?
It takes
Did you watch
so
them all?
much to make it into my queue.
Oh, okay.
Because it would just become so unwieldy.
Sure.
And it felt like I had a responsibility that I wasn't fulfilling.
I know, like I'm going to die with all these movies sitting there.
So I just got rid of them, started over, and there's like maybe two things. I can't even think of what they are right now.
And you don't even feel like you missed that queue, right? I bet.
No, not at all.
It's gone?
Not at all.
Yeah.
Not at all.
And
I should say, if you have Netflix and you haven't seen Making a Murderer yet, go watch it. It is so good. And so Netflix did a and again, we're not sponsored by Netflix here, but Netflix did they had a documentary about the revolution in Ukraine.
Oh wow.
Did you see that one?
Nope.
Really good. One of the better documentaries I've seen in years.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's a recommendation from Josh. They call that bonus material around here.
Exactly.
And we are signing off for now because I smell the steak and eggs is almost ready. And we will see you next week on Internet Roundup.